Hi, we're back. We're still here with Catherine Hickland. And like I said earlier, Catherine, it's been such a pleasure having you here with us.
It has been.
Yes. Now, we're going to touch your book, but first, we got to ask a few questions, of course, for the soap fans.
About Sincerely Broadway. Now, it's covered a little bit in your book, but you have an amazing voice. And I know, just to tie into the book, you said that something about getting the best coaches, but can you talk about the process of making that album, and what did you enjoy about it, and why did we already know you love Broadway, but how did you come about making doing the project?
The funny thing is, I never in my life ever thought about making a CD, but after I did Les Mis on Broadway, I don't know, I just enjoyed the singing experience. And I don't think I'm a great singer, but thank you very much. I think I have a fine voice, and it's not great, but it's fine. I worked hard, and I have a pleasant voice, and I think that it's, I think with that too. But I love Broadway, and I especially love particular shows. So I picked my favorite songs out of all of these shows. I have a full Broadway orchestra that played live, and we recorded it.
Wow!
Live. I sang it with two of my favorite singers that I is Craig Rubano and Marsh Hampton. And I think we made just a beautiful CD, and if you want to hear it or buy it, you can download it at CatherineHickland.com.
Okay.
That's my personal website. I don't know if you girls know this, but I'm a comedy stage hypnotist.
Really?
Oh, I know it.
And you can go and you can see my work there, and you can buy my CD there and see part of my show. And I'm going to be appearing all over the country in 2012, but number one stop, March 1 through 11, I will be in Orlando performing 3 shows a day at a night at the Florida Mid-State Fair in Orlando, Florida, and that's March 1st through 11th. So I'm doing 3 shows a day there, and if you're in Florida, you should definitely come by and see the show or be the show. Get on stage and let me have fun with you.
Yeah, but you do not give yourself enough credit, though. I thought I went to the site. You sound awesome. Wow. And I'm not just saying it because I'm a fan. You sound awesome.
Thank you.
And because of the book, now I'm not into like hypnotism, but I would trust you to put me under, because this book opened my eyes to a lot of things. Like, I consider myself a strong person, especially during breakup. But I realize I might be still on day 3 for a guy that I broke up with 2 years ago.
Wow.
So let's talk about the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I love that you said that, because I work with a lot of people, a lot of people of your story that broke up, and it's been a long time, sometimes months, sometimes years, and they just haven't been able to kind of get past it. And that's just a very common thing I hear, and that's why I wrote this book, because there's a certain way that the mind works, and a certain order that it works, and a way to heal, and we get in our own way, and I like to teach people how to get out of their way and get back into the healing, get back to understanding why they choose the people they do, and what unfinished business in your life we get, and creates this need to go out and cause yourself more pain. You just got done saying you'll never do it again, and what do? You go out and do it all over again. And we break that cycle in this program, and that's what it's all about. So how are you now at the 2-year point of after breaking up? Do you still think about him?
I want to just share a story of how this book caught me. So at one point in the book, you said something about driving by his house. Now, now I have
I think that was day 4 or day 3.
Day 4, day 3, one of them. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm broken up. I'm over this dude. I buy a brand new car, and every time I'm coming to the studio, I go drive by his house just to see if he. No, but you see, I think I'm doing myself a favor. I'm trying to say, oh, look what I'm doing now.
Right.
But your book was like, no, like, you are not, proving anything. And I was like, oh Lord, I was like, I am in bad shape.
Because, that's the story, but we have all done, so let's all get off our moral high horse. I'm just saying that we've all done it. We have all done stupid things.
Yes,
and
yes.
The first I talk to when I work with people, the first thing I ask them is, "What's the stupidest thing you've done lately?" And then we start there, because it's actually, it's actually fun to get into the stupid things we do, because then we go, "Well, why'd you do that?" And then we really get to the bottom of it. But driving by the house after we've broken up is really stupid, because it's keeping us connected to somebody we don't want
to be connected.
We should not be connected to anymore.
That's true.
It's over.
Right.
You have to cut it off, and
Move
you'd be shocked if you allow yourself these 30 days with this program. Do what I tell you to do. Do what I ask you to do. You'd be shocked how fast you get over it, and how you cannot believe that you put yourself through all the sled.
Wow.
It's just I know how to do this. I love what I do, and this book works. I can tell you that.
Catherine, I'm trying not to break down here on set. I'm really trying not to, but what your book did for me, let me get myself together, was...
You don't have to get yourself together.
What this book did for me was that my best friend, you were like my best friend. You were like my best friend that I lost.
Wow.
And that's from the heart. That's from the heart, Catherine. And I don't know you. I don't know you. But you talk to me like my best friend that I lost several years ago. And I say to anyone, and I'm going to get myself together because okay, let me just get it. I say to anyone, you talk to them like you are really their best friend. This was I could feel her. I could feel her. Like when I read this book, I could feel her. And when I was going through my breakup, it was she was so important to me. So if no one has a Janina like I had a Janina, they need your book.
Yes.
They need your book. Your book is very important. You talk to them like a best friend.
Yeah.
Yes, it is an important book.
Okay, well, I want to thank you for that, because that makes me cry. Because I'll tell you what, if there's one thing I know, it's the heart of a woman. And I will just dispute one thing you said. You said that you don't know me. But if you read that book, you do know me. And that's why you feel the way you do. Because when I wrote it with the intention of you knowing me, and you knowing I've been where you have been and where you are. And the only thing that's changed is the names of the people involved. I understand you, and I can help you, and I appreciate your words and your emotions. I feel like you have to
I was like
together.
taken by surprise. I'm
Me
on the
too.
train and I'm crying. Like people are looking at me, but oh my gosh! I said this woman has affected me because what you did was okay. Like you have your prescription day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, but you're really like holding my hand. You're holding the person's hand. You're telling them that I love you. I accept you just the way you are. And it was like amazing to me. And then I said, okay, I see the power of your book. The power of your book is, you also have affirmations. Talk about, did you come up with the affirmations, or did you borrow them from other people? Because you have affirmations all through the book.
Yeah, no, I wrote them all because that's what I am, a spiritual writer, and I really enjoy that. And I'm starting to videotape now my inspirations every month. If you go to my YouTube channel, it's Catherine Hickland, like my name. I have a channel there, and I've got all kinds of funny, fun, wonderful, and spiritual things on that channel. And so, I'm starting to get more into, I call vlogging, where you video blog. And I'm choosing to do it in this way because I want people to know that there's a better way. Because if life isn't working, there's a way to make it work. And so, that's what my channel's about, and what my books are about. And I'm just getting ready to write number 2, which is pretty cool. And I just want to thank you. What an incredible blessing of a testimony you just gave me. Thank you so much.
I was shocked. I was like, oh, wow. No, well, I came out of a long marriage of 25 years. So breaking up is really hard to do, like the song says, but for me, it was a 2-year process. I said, you did it in 30 days. I said, that's amazing. You did it in 30 days. Wow. That is amazing. Yeah. But my question to you is that, do you have to replay that particular marriage or relationship? Do you find that you have to replay it even to this day to make sense of it? Do you have to create like a narrative over in your head, even as the distance of time has gone by?
Well, again, I think what that reminds me of is in one of the chapters of the books, I talk about the tapes that play in our head.
Yes.
And those tapes are what keep us stuck. And we all have our own tape. Sometimes it's about a person, sometimes it's about an event. But the tapes play and they play and they play and they keep us stuck, And so we want to change the tapes. And I don't spend a lot of time on what was. I want to extract what the lesson is as soon as possible. Right. And I want to get to the bottom of why I put myself through that, because honestly, other people don't break our hearts. We do, because we choose people to finish a job from childhood. True. I do believe that. And we choose people that mirror the way we feel about ourselves deep down inside. So if we feel bad about ourselves, it's okay, as long as you want to get out of that. But how you'll know you're feeling bad about yourself is if you choose a mate that will confirm it for you. And by that I mean someone that doesn't treat you well, someone that makes you feel bad about who you are, doesn't support your dreams, is jealous, all these kind of things, These are not people that we need in our lives. So yeah, I really am a big fan. I'm learning the lesson, not just glossing over it, but examining that weakness in myself, putting a spotlight on it, making friends with the uncomfortable feelings, and then being able to work through it and let it go. I don't like to look back on things and spend any time on something that didn't deserve my time to begin with.
True. All right. I just want to go to the very beginning of the book. I noticed that you recognized your mother as being a rock in your life. Was she an influence on you on writing this book?
Well, my mom and I didn't really have a very close relationship when I was growing up, because I was raised largely by my grandmother, like many people are. And by my father, sort of. And my mom got me when I was about 15, so she got a really troubled teenager and a strong-willed girl, and I was in trouble, and I didn't have any direction in my life yet, a youngster. So, I know a lot of people will relate to that, because many of us were raised by our grandparents when our parents didn't have the time, didn't have the knowledge, or whatever the reason, But my mom and I became close later in life, because I recognized that as I got older, I was able to look back and see my shortcomings. And I was able to realize, too, that, even if your parents weren't great parents, it was the best they could do. Sad though that may be, it was the best they could do. So, we have to just go, okay, well, that was their best, and I want my best to be something more than that. Wow. And, so my mom and I, when I was in my 30s or so, we started to have very deep talks, and she started to understand, and I started to understand each other, and we are very close now.
Okay.
And we understand why, things were the way they were when I was little. Didn't mean to put me all through all that. My dad didn't mean to. It's just the way it was. And, it was a great, wonderful thing for me to be able to forgive that I didn't have a normal childhood,
True.
and who does, really?
True.
Who does?
True.
But we don't have to damage the rest of our lives by it. We have to, at some point, assume some responsibility and move past it.
Yes. Yes. True.
Now, Catherine, you have 30 days of different things to do to get over the heartbreak. But one of your techniques is called manifesting, and you tell the story about how you manifested your role on Broadway. How important is that in getting over him? Like, talk about that particular experience.
I don't have the book in front of me, but I think the chapter you're talking about is Manifest a Beautiful Life, right?
Okay, with Richard J. Alexander, Phantom of the Opera? Yes.
Yes. I was studying what was in my 30s. Everybody said that I was wasting my time. My agents said it'll never happen, that I was too old, and to be wanting to do something that huge in my life that I'd never done before. And I did not accept that or receive it, as we say in the Christian world. I didn't receive it. And I just studied anyway. And People was doing an interview on Michael Knight and I, because we had just gotten married, and they did an interview. And in the interview, I talked about how I someday wanted to star in Phantom of the Opera, and that I was studying very diligently. So Richard J. Alexander read it and brought me in to audition for one of their musicals, and he was actually at that time the executive producer of Phantom of the Opera, Les Mis, Miss Saigon. And so they brought me in to audition for the part of the American Wife in Miss Saigon, and I'd only been studying for a little less than a year, and I was very scared, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity, so I showed up. And when I did audition, I sang a song from Carousel called If I Loved You, very difficult song. Okay, and he asked me if he could speak to me afterwards, and I said yes, and he came out in the hall and he said, look, I really like you. I like you with your person, I like your personality, and I think you have a great voice, but you're not ready yet. So I want you to do me a favor. I want you to keep studying, and I am going to bring you back and audition you again, and I want you to be, at that point, I want you to be ready, so you keep studying as hard as you are, because you're doing great. I said, okay. So I found a picture of him, and I put it on the back of my front door, and every day when I would leave the house to go to work in the morning, I'd see his face on the back of my front door, and I'd say, Richard J. Alexander, you don't know why, but you cannot stop thinking about me. You are going to bring me back. You're going to audition me. You are going to give me the part. I am going to wow you. We're going to be friends. You are thinking about me right now. And I did this every single day.
Wow.
And as I walked out the door, and Michael was like, whatever. I mean, he just thought I was crazy, So, but anyway, so he, some months later, invited me back to audition, and I was ready. And I sang my heart out, and he gave me the part of Fantine in Les Mis, and it was the biggest moment of my life. And after I got the part, I said, have you been thinking about me? I was wondering if my manifesting was actually working. But I do believe that we do bring things to us, good and bad, and I believe with all my heart that we can do that, and it is a passion combined with positive thinking, hard work. It's a combination of those three things. But I will tell you that you can also bring bad things to you by thinking about things with passion on the negative side. Some people get stuck in their negative stuff, and they bring passion to it, and then what do you suppose happens? it's no one really. They say the universe does not understand or differentiate good from bad. That's also true of the subconscious mind, and I am more of a subconscious mind person because I understand the brain and the mind and both minds and how well they work and work together and separately. So, your subconscious mind, that's why I want you to speak great, wonderful, positive, loving things all the time.
Yeah. All the time.
But Catherine, I love what you said about setting a deadline for the pain. I like that.
Which one?
It was a deadline for the pain.
For the pain to end.
Oh, a deadline for the pain to end. Yeah. It's a goal. When we set goals, we tend to meet them. And so when you're going to heal from something, you set a deadline for it, and that's going to be it. You're going to make it. You do that for your career. You do that for a lot of things, and we can do that also for healing.
I like that.
Well, how has it been received? I mean, I shared with you my personal experience, and how has the book been received?
I get emails almost every day like yours.
Wow.
That tell me, and let me tell you, I have heard the worst of the worst out there.
Wow.
And every time I hear one that I think couldn't get any worse, another worse one comes in of circumstances. And yet these girls have gotten past it. And guys too, but man, I'll tell you, it's rewarding for me. It's been very well received. It's a simple little program, but it works.
Yes. And I also like what you said about be kind to yourself, be your best friend, and do something kind for someone else. That do make you feel better. You do something
every
kind
day
for someone else. Yes. I agree with you. So.
Yeah, even if it's just something little. I don't mean that you have to go do some big grand gesture, but let someone go in front of you at the grocery store in the line for no reason at all.
True.
Especially if it's a mom has kids in her arms, and if you just see some little way to make a difference in somebody's life every day, you will not believe how that's back to you.
Catherine, thank you for spending some time with us. Honestly, I really truly think that you're a blessed individual.
Yes.
I learned so much about you through the book, and I can't even put into words how much I hope that things just explode for you on another level, because you can help so many people, not just for entertainment soap operas, but just on a personal level. So I'm hoping that everything just starts to unfold. I know you're very spiritual, so keep praying. We'll keep praying for you, and hope that everything just works out the way I feel it should for you, because you are such a genuine person.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, we're all here to lift each other up, aren't we?
Right.
Yes.
And you have done that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
You cannot even imagine how God is opening amazing doors for me. And there's a wonderful saying that God packed your bags for. And I just know without a doubt that He has packed my bags for exactly what I'm doing.
That's right.
And so I have great peace, and that's how you know that you're in the race at the right time, because you get a certain peace about what you need to do. And let's face it, girls, the three of you had a dream to have this show you're doing right now. You're doing it. We're doing it.
That's right.
True.
And I think it's fantastic, and you're doing a great job. And you make sure that you let me know how to get on the social networking and promote this show for you, because I think it's great. Proud of all three of you.
Thank you. So thank you, Catherine.
And thanks to our producer, Tessa.
Catherine, what do you want to say to your fans?
Oh my gosh. I have never in my life used that word so much, like fans, because they are my friends. And they guys are the best. I feel like family with you. I love you all. I'm so grateful that we have Facebook and Twitter now, that we can talk to each other. We do. And I love reading, I'm going to start a book because my private Facebook page over maximum capacity for so long, so I'm going to start another page and have everybody kind of move over where there's no limitations. But I love reading what you're thinking, and you know, I have a multi-city tour this year, so if I know where I'm going to be, you go to KatherineHickland.com, and my tour schedule will be going up very soon. Orlando is the first stop in March, but then I'll be in Springfield, Massachusetts in the summer. I'll be in New Jersey this summer. I'll be in Indiana this summer. I'm going to be in so many places, so make sure that you find me and meet me. And
yes, that would be so good.
Yes. And we also going to work on that frenemy.
Yeah, we're going to work on that frenemy.
Frenemy with you and Laura. That would be so nice.
I'll
the
get
fans
that
will love
frenemy
that. But Catherine, we could talk to you all day about this. We don't want to take up too much of your time. We could go on and on about your book. We love your book.
Yes,
I can relate to it. When I read it, I smiled because I saw myself in your book. I saw myself. I was like, wow, I did that. I've been there.
Yeah.
I can relate to it so much. So I'm telling every woman out there, get this book. Even if you didn't have a breakup, this book is just good to have. Get this book. You're going to love this book.
And you can also get it on your iPad,
What?
your Kindle, on Amazon. It's a really great. It's a fantastic tool. So make sure, and thanks for the testimony, girls, and God bless you guys, and let's keep in touch, okay?
God bless you. We wish you all the best. We love you.
Bye, Catherine.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Again, Catherine, it's been such a pleasure having you here on Let's Talk About Soaps.
That was a very exciting interview with Catherine Hickland. We have got to get Lindsay out of jail.
Right.
They've got to bring back the soaps.
Yes.
Come on. We have to do something to get these soaps back.
Like Catherine said earlier on the interview, that the soap fans, we can do it. It's nothing we can't do. We just got to come together, make our voices heard. We will get One Life to Live back on the air and All My Children.
Most importantly, let's support Catherine.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Let's buy the book. Like she said, it's available on iPad, Kindle. You could get it hardback. Buy her album.
Yes.
Buy her cosmetic line. Go to her shows. Do anything to support her because, as you can see, she's with us.
She's been such a big
verbally
supporter.
with us.
Yes.
She has been openly supportive of the soaps and making sure that they remain with us on the air. So if you want the soaps to come back,
you know what you got to do.
Contact Catherine Hickland. Either get her book, check out her cosmetics. Support her.
Support.
Yes.
Keep supporting and we will bring the soaps back.
Yes. And again, Catherine, we love you.
Yes.
You're the sweetest person I ever knew. And we wish you all the best. We love you. And we will get our soaps back. We're going to see our girl Lindsay back in Lambview. Till then, stay tuned for Let's Talk About Soaps. Bye-bye.